You have spent money on this, maybe a lot of money. Probiotics, digestive enzymes, fiber supplements, bone broth powders, cutting out gluten, eating more vegetables. And yet, right now your gut still doesn't feel right. The bloating still comes. The fog still sits behind your eyes every morning. The heaviness after meals that nobody around you seems to experience. And here is the part that really hurts. You are doing everything right. That is what makes it so maddening. You are not eating junk food every day. You are not ignoring your health. You are trying. So why is nothing working? I'm going to tell you something that most doctors will never say to your face because they don't have time. And honestly, some of them don't know. The reason your gut isn't healing has nothing to do with what you are adding. It has everything to do with the order in which you are doing things. Healing the gut is not a grocery list. It is a sequence, a specific 7-day sequence. And if you get the order wrong, everything you are doing cancels itself out. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you are going to understand your gut in a way that changes everything you do going forward. And day 5, I need to warn you, is going to shock you. Most people never even consider it, but it might be the single reason nothing has worked until now. I want you to picture someone, we call her Olivia, 34 years old, not someone who eats badly, not someone who ignores her health. In fact, Olivia was probably healthier than most people she knew. She prepped on Sundays. She took a supplement every morning. She drank her water, and every single day, without fall within an hour of eating, she felt like she had swallowed a balloon. 3 doctors in 18 months. Every test came back normal. The first said, eat more fiber. The second said, try a different probiotic. The third, and this one still makes me angry, said, it is probably just anxiety. Nobody mentioned the gut lining. Nobody explained the microbiome rebalancing window. Nobody told her that you cannot heal a gut that is still under daily attack, no matter how many supplements you take. Olivia wasn't sick. She was stuck in a cycle of random health advice that no sequence, no structure, and no understanding of how gut healing actually works. 7 weeks after Olivia completed her first 7-day reset and understood why each day matters, she said something that I haven't forgotten. She said, for the first time in years, I forgot about my stomach. Not I feel better, she forgot about it. Because that is what real gut healing feels like. Not just less pain, the complete absence of it becoming your daily background noise. That is what we are building today. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to give you the exact 7-day sequence. But I need to be upfront about something controversial first. Some of what I'm about to tell you directly contradict popular health advice. The theory is going to challenge something millions of people do every single morning. Convinced it is helping their gut, when the science suggests it might actually be making things worse. I'm not saying this to be sensational. I'm saying it because you deserve accurate information, not just popular information. And if at any point something surprises you, good. That surprise is your gut telling you it has been waiting for this. Now, let's begin. Before anything else, before the probiotics, the bone broth, the breathing exercise, you have to do one thing. Stop the damage. Here is the analogy. I want you to carry through this entire reset. Imagine your gut lining is a wound. Now, imagine every day you are putting healing ointment on that wound, but also eating it with a hammer 3 times a day. That is exactly what more people are doing. They are adding healing foods with one hand and destroying the gut lining with the other without even knowing it. Day 1 is about putting the hammer down The three biggest gut destroyers hidden in plain sight. 1. Refined sugar. Not just candy, fruit juice, healthy granola bars, low-fat yogurt loaded with added sugar. Sugar directly feeds the harmful bacteria in your gut, the ones causing the bloating, the inflammation, the discomfort. One day of refined sugar begin to starve them. 2. Seed oil. This one is controversial, and I know some of you will push back. But canola oil, sunflower oil, soybean oil, these are oxidized during industrial processing and create what is called lipid peroxide, compounds that have been shown to directly damage the gut linings. Protective mucus layers, swap them for olive oil, coconut oil, or butter oil. Third, alcohol. Even one drink, I know, but alcohol, even in small amounts, breaks down the tight junction protein in your gut wall. These are the microscopic seals that keep bacteria and toxins from leaking into your bloodstreams. One day without it begins the repair. The one feels like restriction, but it isn't. This surgery, you are removing what is actively working against you. And tomorrow, day 2, is where most people make their first mistake and of the reset. A mistake so common that I need you to pay close attention. Day 2, hydrate differently. Hydration, you know this one, right? Drink more water. 8 glasses a day. You have heard it 1,000 times. Here is what nobody tells you. How you hydrate matters as much as how much you hydrate. Your gut lining is coated in a thin protective layer of mucus. This layer is your gut's shield, blocking harmful bacteria, undigested particles, and toxins from reaching the gut wall itself. When you are even mildly dehydrated, which most people are, chronically, the mucus layer thins, and a thin mucus layer means a vulnerable gut wall. But here is a part that surprises people. Cold water, especially first thing in the morning, causes the smooth muscles of your gut to contract. This slows motility, disrupts the migrating motor complex, and can actually worsen bloating in people with sensitive gut. Warm water, about 500 ml, before any food or coffee does the opposite. It relaxes the gut muscles, stimulates gently motility, and begins to rehydrate the mucus layer from the inside. Add a small amount of aloe vera juice to 1 glass during the day. Aloe vera contains compounds called a polysaccharide, shown in studies to directly support mucous membrane repair in the digestive tract. And limit caffeine to 1 cup. Excess caffeine triggers a cortisol spike, and cortisol, as we'll talk about on day 5, is one of the gut's worst enemies. Day 2 is about giving your gut lining the environment it needs to start protecting itself again. And day 3, I promised you controversy. Here it comes. Okay, I need you to hear this with an open mind. That probiotic you are taking every morning, the one you spend good money on, it might be doing nothing, possibly worse than nothing. Here is why. And this comes from research published in journals that most supplement companies won't prefer you didn't read. A probiotic pill introduces bacteria into your gut, but bacteria, like any living thing, need food to survive and colonize. They need probiotic fiber. Without it, the bacteria from that expensive capsule pass through your digestive tract and exit your body within 24 to 48 hours. You have eventually flushed them out. Think of it this way. Taking a probiotic Without prebiotics, it's like planting seeds in concrete and expecting a garden. The theory is about fixing the soil before adding the seeds. Your prebiotic priority fruits this week: garlic, onions, leeks, asparagus, slightly underripe bananas, and oats. These feed the beneficial bacteria you already have and prepare the environment for new ones. Now, your fermented food sources for live bacteria: plain yogurt with live cultures, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, or kombucha. Choose one. Start small. A tablespoon of sauerkraut, a small glass of kefir. Going too fast causes temporary bloating that many people misread as a bad reaction. It is not. It is a bacterial shift. It is the sound of your gut changing. And here is something beautiful about the theory. The changes happening in your microbiome today won't be fed for another 48 to 72 hours, but they are happening right now. Quietly, invisibly, your gut is already starting to respond. Day 4 is where we give it the actual building materials to repair the damage. Day 4, build the wall. Your gut lining is a single layer of cells called enterocytes. And here is something extraordinary about them. They replace themselves every 3 to 5 days. Listen to that again. Every 3 to 5 days, your body is literally trying to rebuild your gut lining from scratch. That means right now, today, your gut is already in repair mode. The question is only whether you are giving it what it needs to rebuild well or rebuild poorly. The 3 most powerful gut wall repair nutrients and how to get them from food. First, L-glutamine, the primary fuel source for enterocyte cells. Without enough L-glutamine, your gut lining rebuilds thin and fragile instead of strong. Best food sources: bone broth, eggs, and grass-fed meat. Plant-based, raw cabbages, lentils contain meaningful amounts. Second is zinc. Here is the fact: zinc deficiency is present in a significant majority of people with leaky gut. Zinc is essential for producing the tight junction proteins that seal your gut wall shut. Bed sources: pumpkin seeds, oysters, hemp seeds. Third is collagen, the structural scaffolding of your gut lining. Bone broth is your most bioavailable source. Ideally, slow cooked for 12 hours or more. Collagen powder added to warm water works well too. Day 4 won't feel dramatic. You probably won't notice anything obvious, but under the surface, a place you can't see or feel, your gut wall is laying new bricks. And day 5 is the day that nobody talks about, the day that might explain every single time you have tried to heal your gut and eat a wall. Stop! I need you to actually stop for a second and think about your life. Not your diet, not your supplement, your stress level. Because here is the most controversial thing I'm going to say in this entire video. You can do every other day of this reset perfectly. The food, the hydration, the fermented foods, the bone broth. And if this one thing is not addressed, your gut will not fully heal. Your gut has its own nervous system. Scientists call it the enteric nervous system. The second brain with over 100 million nerve cells that operate almost independently. And here is a connection that changes everything. When your nervous system is in stress mode, what is called the sympathetic state, blood flows is actively diverted away from your digestive system. Stomach acid drops, gut motility slows. The microbiome physically shifts toward an inflammatory profile. Your body, in stress mode, does not prioritize digestion, it prioritizes survival. And the brutal irony, most people trying to heal their gut are more stressed because their gut isn't healing. A loop, a trap. The 5 is about one non-negotiable practice: activating your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest state, before every single meal. The method is 5 slow breaths before you eat. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 6. 3 rounds. This takes 90 seconds, and it has been shown in a clinical studies to increase stomach acid production, improve gut motility, and meaningfully reduce post-meal bloating. 90 seconds before every meal. Your gut does not heal in urgency, it heals in rest. Give it the rest it has been begging you for. Day 6. Your gut has a clock, not a metaphorical clock, a literal biological clock, synchronized to daylight, tied to your circadian rhythm, governing when your digestive enzymes are released, when your gut's cleaning cycle runs, when your gut lining repairs itself, and most people are completely out of sync with it. The gut's natural cleaning cycle is called the migrating motor complex. It runs between meals, sweeping bacteria, undigested particles, and debris through your digestive tract, like a street sweeper that only comes out when the streets are dirty. Every time you snack between meals, you interrupt it. Every time you eat late at night, you interrupt it. Every time your meal times are different every day, your gut never knows when to run the cycle. Day 6 is about 3 simple reading rules. 1. Consistent meals time. Save time every day. Your gut prepares digestive enzymes in anticipation of meals. Consistently means better digestion before the food even arrives. Second, a 12-hour eating window. All food between, let's say, 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. This gives your gut a 12-hour overnight window to repair, clean, and reset. Third, nothing to eat within 2 hours of sleep. When you eat late, your gut works instead of repairs. Those 2 hours before sleep are some of the most important healing hours your gut has. Rhythm doesn't require perfect food. It doesn't require expensive supplements. It just requires consistency. And consistency, as you will hear on day 7, is the entire secret. Day 7 is the most important day, not because of what you eat, not because of what you drink, because of what you decide. Here is the honest truth that most gut health content will tell you. Because it doesn't make for an exciting video title. 7 days will not heal your gut. 7 days will prove that your gut can be healed. There is a difference, and it matters enormously. What this week has done, if you have followed it, is create a measurable shift. The inflammation has begun to reduce. The mucous layers has begun to rebuild. The microbiome has begun to remember what reset feels like. You are not at the destination, but you are no longer at the starting line. Research consistently shows that meaningful, lasting microbiome change require 60 to 90 days of consistent habit. Not perfection, but consistency. So day 7 asks only one question. Which 2 habits from this week will you keep? Not all 7, not a complete overhaul, just 2. Maybe it's the warm water every morning. Maybe it's the premier breathing. Maybe it is removing seed oil. Maybe it is the 12-hour eating window. 2 habits every day for 30 days. Then add 2 more. That is how God heals, not in explosion to effort, in the quiet accumulation of days. Remember Olivia, the woman who had been told 3 times by 3 doctors that everything was normal. The woman who was doing everything right and she couldn't understand why her body felt like it was working against her. 6 weeks after her first reset, and after keeping just 3 habits consistently, she described something. She said, I got to the end of a whole day and I hadn't thought about my stomach once. Think about what that means. For years, her gut had been background noise, constant low grade, sat underneath every meal, every social event, every normal day. And one morning, it was just quiet. That quiet is what we are working toward. Not a dramatic transformation overnight, not a miracle, just quiet. Your gut is not broken. It has not given up on you. It is trying to heal right now. In this moment, and it has been trying every single day. It just needs the right sequence, the right environment, the right respect. You came to this video because something in you knew there was a better way, and now you have it. 7 days, 2 habits to keep, 1 decision to make. That's all it takes to begin. Now, here is something I need to warn you about, because even people who complete this research perfectly, who feel genuinely better, often fall back into gut problems within a few weeks. And it's almost always because of the same 5 food. Food that health-conscious people eat every single day. Food that look healthy. Food that get recommended constantly. But for a gut that is trying to heal, they are quietly keeping the inflammation alive. In the next episode, we are going to go through all 5. And I guaranteed at least one of them is something you eat regularly. Maybe even something you have been told is good for your gut. If you don't want to miss it, subscribe. You will be notified the moment it goes live. And if this video gave you something today, a new understanding, a step you are going to take tomorrow morning, share it with someone who is been struggling with the same thing. Because the information in this series deserves to reach the people who need it. Take care of your gut. It takes care of everything else.